Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life, the podcast. This is Life Coach Myrna Young, and you're listening to 5-Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. Today, I want to talk on the topic, what do you see, giants or grasshoppers? In the Bible story of the Promised Land, the Lord said to Moses, "Send your men out to explore the land that I'm giving you. It is a land flowing with milk and honey." So Moses sends out 12 men, all tribal leaders, with these instructions. Find out what kind of people live in this land. Are they strong? Are they weak? Are they few? Are they many? How do they live? Do they live in tents or in fortified cities with walls? We need to know how we can take them. Is the soil fertile or poor? Are there many trees? So basically, find out what it is like to live in this land. The men went out and explored the land for 40 days and came back with their report. The land is indeed flowing with milk and honey. Here is a sample of their crops, but we can't take the land because the people living there are giants and we are like grasshoppers next to them. Only 2 of the men had a different report. They said, the land is indeed rich, flowing with milk and honey, and we can take those people because the Lord is with us, and they will be helpless prey to us because they do not have the protection of God. Do not be afraid of them. This Bible story illustrates fear of the unknown, the inability to take what the Lord has already given you. Do you see giants and feel like you're a grasshopper that will be crushed if you move forward with your goals and dreams? What's keeping you from your promised land? Let's look at Gandhi, this amazing human being. Gandhi was a small, frail man who looked like a grasshopper. The giant that he faced was the British Empire and colonialism. This small gentleman, a Hindu who always studied other faiths, gave birth to the concept of nonviolent resistance for social change. In his native India, Gandhi was instrumental in ending British colonialism, fighting the caste system, and improving women's rights. His unique nonviolent approach would become a pivotal part of movements throughout the world, from the civil rights movement in the US to the fight against apartheid in South Africa. Did Gandhi feel like a grasshopper? Did he see the British as a giant? Because trust me, the British were a giant. The British were such a great giant that they just went around the whole world just taking whatever they wanted, right? From the West Indies to the East Indies to the Americas, everywhere they went, they just took what they want. They were a massive giant. And this small, frail man took them on because it is not the size of the enemy, but it's the size of your mind. His mind, he did not feel like a grasshopper. His mind, he knew that he had power because all he had to do was rally the people and their strength in numbers. The Lord had told the people of Israel, I have given you the promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. He did not tell them they had to fight for it. God had already given you the victory, yet you see giants and you don't go get it. I remember reading Dwayne Wade's autobiography, and he said that he saw Michael Jordan at his first All-Star game, and Jordan told him, go get it. He didn't know what he meant at the time, but later he realized, go get that MVP. The MVP was already there waiting for Dwayne Wade. God had already given it to him, and all he had to do was go get it. And Michael encouraged him, and he did go get it, right? He saw no giants, right? He knows that he was the best player out there, and he went out and played like he was the best player and got the MVP. Same with your dreams and goals. God has already given them to you. You just have to go get it. You're not a grasshopper. No perceived giants can crush you. Remember that if you are a believer, you have the protection of God on your side, and the opposition will be helpless prey because they have no protection. So become fearless and go get God what God has already given you. Out of those 12 spies, only the 2 men that did not see giants and did not think that they were grasshoppers actually entered the promised land. God just killed all the other ones, the ones that did not believe that he had given them the promised land. The ones that says, oh, we can't take them. Guess what? Self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So remember, there are no giants in your life, and you are not a grasshopper, but strong and courageous. I hope that this episode was an inspiration to you and that you become strong and courageous. It's actually a mantra that I've adopted for myself. I adopted it a long time ago. Be strong and courageous. Go get whatever God has given to you. Don't whimper in the background. Don't think that you're a grasshopper and people will crush you. No, they can only crush you if you believe they can, because the mind, which is what we're teaching here, is very important, right? And you can do anything that you set your mind to if you believe. So I hope that you're inspired today. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of 5 Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. I hope to see you back here next Friday. In the meantime, I want to invite you to join my Facebook group called Life Coach so that we can keep you inspired all week long. Until next time, namaste.